Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason and I'm a full-time reseller on eBay and Poshmark, and in today's video we're going to go over what sold over the last 10 days or so. We've been progressively working up towards getting to $2,000 a week in net profits, and as we've been approaching the holidays, I've been hitting that consistently, which has been great. My big concern is what happens post-holiday season. This is my first time going through holidays and then into a new quarter. So I'm a little nervous about that, a little concerned. If you are a seasoned reseller veteran, let me know in the comments how that works out. I'm just scared of a big dip, but let's go ahead and get into what sold over the last couple of weeks to get me to that mark. So first up, we've got a Tecovas Western shirt. This is a pearl snap. Tecovas is a great brand. It's a brand out of Austin, Texas. They make pretty high quality stuff. It's got great sell-through on eBay. It's a great item to pick up for reselling. This one I picked up for $4.99. I think I had it listed at $40 and I took an offer for $30. So I was happy with that. Good profit on a $5 flip. Next up is a pair of Levi's 517 jeans, so the boot cut. These are definitely ones to be on the lookout for. I am picking up every pair that I find out there. These are modern. There's nothing too fancy about these. Kind of a light wash, a little bit of wear, a little bit of fading. But these went for $30.39. Definitely a good flip there. I believe I paid $7.99 for this pair. So I'll pay like up to $10 for these. They sell pretty quick for me. I think I had these for maybe a month. Next up is a pair of Nike running pants. These are like joggers. These are the Swift model, and there are a few Nike jogger models that are worth picking up. Probably 4 or 5 different ones that have great sell-through, that sell in that $30 to $35 price range. And then there is a slew of models of joggers that just do not sell well. So this is one of them. If you see these out there, that's kind of distinguished, unique pattern here with it's like half soft shell cotton, half polyester, breathable, but these ones are pretty easy to spot. Some of the other ones are more just based off the texture and the feel. You'll kind of get an idea for what they are, but these are definitely a good one to pick up. Next up was a Stetson pearl snap shirt. Stetson is a strong brand. They've been around for a long time. I don't think this was vintage at all, just a modern pearl snap shirt from them. Went for $31.99. I usually will pick up Stetson pearl snaps for sure. Some Stetson stuff I've passed on in the past. Just depends on what it is, so definitely got to look it up. Next up is a pair of Duluth Trading. These are bread and butter for me. These are the Flex Fire Hose. These went for $31.99. I think I had these listed for less than a week. The rust color is a little bit more of a rare color to find out there, so whenever I find these, they usually sell really quick. Next up is another pair of Levi's 517. These were an interesting size, 38 by 36, so super long, but that dark wash does help. I guess the longer inseam on bootcut stuff goes quicker for whatever reason. Tall people like bootcut stuff. I don't know what there is to that, but yeah, it seems to sell a little bit quicker if the inseam's a little bit longer and it's a dark wash. But again, these were modern. These are not anything too special. Pretty sure I paid around the same price, $7.99 for these. They sold quick. Next up is another pair of Flex Fire Hose. I did mess up. I did a list similar and I forgot to remove cargo from the listing. So hopefully they looked at these and realized there's no cargo pockets on them. There was some like discoloration, as you can see here. I put that in the listing, and you can see it there. So, and they still sold for $31.99. It's hard to say on these if they're just like the beige or the gray or the brown, how quick they're selling, because I have a ton of them in my store. I'd have to dive in and see. But I do use nifty AI to relist everything, so it's hard to tell how long something's been sitting because it gets relisted after 30 days. Next up is a pair of Miss Me jeans. These were the Irene boot cut with a thick stitch. Definitely a good model to look out for. If they have better embellishments or stitch patterns on the back, they can go a little bit higher. So this is pretty typical for the Irene boot cut, is somewhere in that $30 to $40 range. If they have something cooler like the Nola, or I found one with angel wings on it once that went for around $60. There's some with like cow print on them that'll go for a little bit more. So something a little bit fancier on the backside will go for a little bit more, but typically for the Miss Me bootcut jeans, you're looking at that $30 to $40 price range. Next up is a pair of trail gloves. These are by Merrell. These are like minimalist shoes. They're super nice. I actually own a pair, and I sold them. You'll see them in a minute. But these are great to pick up. I usually find these between $6 and $9. I think at the thrift store they just feel lightweight and kind of cheaper, so they don't really price them up. But these are nice shoes. These are definitely quality shoes. I switched over when I found a pair in my size, and I don't know if I'll go back. I mean, it's winter now, so I'm going to be wearing some boots, but for summertime, these things are awesome. Next up is a Scentlock jacket, and this is a camo Realtree collab or Realtree pattern. Scentlock stuff is decent. Not all of it is great. So definitely have to look up the sizing, look up the style, look up what it is exactly. Knowing your camo patterns helps. So you can look up the specific camo. This one did okay. I think it sat for about 60 days. But I got 38 bucks out of it, so I was happy with that. Next up is a pair of cool men's sandstone. That's the color. They're Renegade hiking pants. These sold quick. I did actually just get a message from the buyer who received them. So I guess let me know how you guys list your stuff. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. So when I'm listing, in the title, I will put the measurement size. So like you can see here, the tag says 35 by 32. But if you look at the measurements, it actually measured out at 36. So I put the actual measurements because, pre-owned stuff can either shrink in the wash or stretch from wear. And sometimes it's so far off on the measurements. I mean, you'll find a pair of like 32 by 32 pants and they'll end up being 36 by 29. So I will list the actual measured sizes in the title, but this person was a little upset. They said, I didn't realize the tag said 35 by 32 and you listed them as 36 by 32. And I sent a message saying, basically explaining that the actual measurements were 36 by 32. And I haven't heard back from him yet, but maybe I'm doing this incorrectly. I guess let me know what you guys do or what you think on that, because if I need to adjust, I'd like to get that going now. Next up is a North Face high vent jacket. This was a really cool jacket that I think would have went for a bit more. It's like a military style parka jacket, but it had this distressing on it, kind of like like micro tears. You can see a little bit better there in this area. Nothing crazy. I mean, it really didn't affect the jacket that much. Other than that, it was in pretty good condition. But I listed it at $49.99, and then my 20% off sale came down to $39.99, and I took an offer at $34. Just because I'm always more prone to take offers if I've got something that has some sort of damage to it or some sort of defect. So this probably would have went closer to $60 if it didn't have that. Next up is a really nice Faraday shirt. It's a brushed alpine shirt. Faraday's a great brand to be on the lookout for. There is their tag right there. This was a quick seller. This one went definitely in less than 30 days, maybe even within a couple of weeks. I got $39.99 for it, so I was happy with that. Next up is this pair of Hokas. I got these at the bins, and they were in really rough condition. It looked like they were in a pile that somebody had thrown back, like they had them in their cart for a minute and then decided against them. And I saw them, and the reason I got them was the sizing, really. The Bondi 8's definitely a good model, but in that condition, it might not move the quickest. But the sizing made me believe that it would sell quick, and it did within, probably just a couple of weeks. So it's size 13, and it's wide 2E, which is like the extra wide. So sizes like that are hard to come by. Even in retail stores, even when people are trying to pick these up, you just don't find that often. So I figured even in this condition, and as you can see, they are pretty worn out with some tears. The label itself, or the brand tag label, is like falling off of there. There's a lot wrong with these, but they sold quick for $39.99, so I was super happy with that. I probably only paid a few dollars for these. Next up is another pair of cool pants. These are revolver pants. Gray size 30 by 30. These sold really quick. I think I had these listed for a few days, maybe a week at most. Cool stuff is just flying off my shelves right now, so as many pairs I can find out there, I'm definitely picking them up. But the revolver's a good model to pick up regardless. Next up was this Relwyn shirt. It's like a seersucker shirt. This one I sold like a month ago, and somehow I sent the guy the wrong shirt. I sent him a Ralph Lauren like Indian Madras shirt, and he was not happy with that. So I just told him, yeah, send it back, and I'll try to see what happened. If I find it, I'll let you know. And I did find it. It was right next to it. I don't know how I got my SKU numbers mixed up, but I did. But thankfully I got it sorted out, and I sent him a message to let him know I was relisting it, and he didn't buy it, but somebody else bought it within a couple of weeks, so I was happy with that. $40 was a good flip. This was one that it was $4.99, and I watched one of the other resellers, basically his home store, the kids in there all the time. I watched him flip right through it on the rack and pass it up, so I don't know what's going on with that. But Relwyn, every time I see this, I am grabbing it. I don't find it very often, but that's the tag right there. It's very unique, very easy to spot. So if you see Relwyn out there, definitely grab it. Next up is a Depop sale. So this is the first time I'm sharing a Depop sale. I just kicked off my Depop store a few weeks ago. Very new to the platform, so I'm not 100% sure how everything works yet. A little confused on this price point of $46.19, because that's not what I listed it at. I'm pretty sure I listed it at $49.99, but I'm happy with $46 anyways. I paid $4.99. This did have a stain on it right here, you can see. Comps were a little iffy on this. There weren't many listed and there weren't many sold, so it was kind of a risky pickup, but for $4.99 it wasn't, obviously it paid off, it worked, but yeah, that was a good sale. Depop, I'm still trying to navigate and figure out. I know there's like no fees, which is cool, so if you sell something for like $46, then you get basically $46. So that's pretty cool. That's basically like a $60 sale on eBay or Poshmark, so I'm happy with that. Definitely take that. Here is my old pair of Merrell trail gloves. So I found a like sky blue pair in my size, and they were the Trail Glove 6, so I went ahead and upgraded from the 4 to the 6, and I listed mine, and they sold within like 2 days of listing them, so that was super cool. I think I took an offer for $43 on these, but I was happy about that. I got to upgrade and make a little bit of money off of it, so that works. Next up was this La Sportiva Defender jacket, like a soft shell jacket. La Sportiva is a rock climbing gear company. They are out of Italy. They make pretty high-end stuff. I'm not sure what their retail price tags look like. The secondary market, the reselling market, is a little spotty on La Sportiva. So this was another one. I think they had this just in the shirts, like the long sleeve section. So I paid $4.99 for this. Which was very reasonable. That's probably why I got it. If it was closer to the $10 mark, I might have left it behind because of the inconsistency with comps. But I went ahead and grabbed it, and it sold fairly quick. I think I had this for about 2 months. This one, again, I think I took an offer around $43, so I was happy with that. Next up is Tecovas. Tecovas is a great brand to be on the lookout for. Again, we saw the shirt earlier on, but the jeans are excellent. These jeans went for the full $47.99. Definitely happy with that. These were in excellent condition. I picked these up at Plato's Market. I believe Plato's Closet, sorry. I believe I paid $12 or $14 for these, so still a good flip. These ones probably similar, probably sold in about 2 months. So I'm happy with that. 2 months to go from 12 or 14 to 47. That's perfectly fine with me. Next up is this pair of Brooks Adrenaline GTS. Not sure why they sold for $50, and how quick they sold was crazy. They sold within a couple of hours. They are kind of a unique size for women's. They're size 10 wide, which maybe that helped. But I listed these, and yeah, they sold within a few hours. Usually my sale will kick in. So I listed them at $49.99. Expecting it to drop down to $39.99 with a 20% off, and then I set my offers to all the way down to $30. So I'm willing to accept offers all the way down to $30. which the average sale price on these was like 30 to 40 bucks. So that seemed reasonable. And then boom, as soon as I listed them, they sold for the full 50, which that was awesome. I'll take it. Next up is Helly Hansen, and Helly Hansen is a somewhat new brand to me. I just heard about them about a month ago. I found this jacket, and I found some snow pants from them, so I'm going to continue to pick up their stuff. This sold pretty quick, within about a month. I got this jacket super cheap. It was marked at $5, but it was a tag deal at one of the places I go to, so it was half off. It was only $2.50, and I believe I took an offer at $45 for this one, so definitely something to be on the lookout for. Helly Hansen is apparently quality stuff. It feels like nice quality. That was the reason I looked into it. But yeah, Helly Hansen. That's a brand I'll be picking up more of. Next up were these really cool ghost running shoes, like a high-vis yellow. I wanted to keep these, but they were not wide. So I wear like a 12 wide, 11.5, 12 wide. If these had fit, I would have kept them for sure. I really like them. I like the bright color. Definitely, good if you're doing evening runs or early morning runs. The high vis is nice. But these were another bins find. So, I got these for a few dollars. These sold I took an offer at $50 for these. These sold pretty quick as well within a couple weeks. So definitely happy about that. Next up was this Browning pair of overalls, and Browning is not the greatest brand ever, but if you see Browning with Gore-Tex on like a jacket, on pants, on overalls, definitely worth looking up. So these had a pretty good sell-through. They sold in that $80 to $100 range, so I listed mine at $100 with the 20% off, and I believe it got the full $79.99 out of them. So definitely a good grab there. And the last one here is this Patagonia Nano Puff jacket. This is the second time I've sold this. So I sold it to someone, and they wanted to return it, which was fine. But they said, this isn't black, this is gray. And they were upset because it wasn't black. To me, it looked black. I don't know. That looks black, but apparently it was gray. But they did go ahead and, do the whole rental thing. They had to have worn it because it reeked of men's cologne, very strong. So they definitely wore it out at least once and then returned it. But there was no condition issues, just the smell. So no big deal. Took the return back. I knew it would sell again soon, and it did. I took an offer for $100 on this one and was happy to see it go out again. But that's it. That's what's been selling. Holidays are definitely ramping up. Again, I'm a little nervous about what happens post-holidays. I'm going to enjoy this while it lasts. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you've been through a few seasons, coming past the holiday season, what that looks like, if that fall off is pretty hard or, if it's pretty reasonable. I feel like I don't sell a ton of Christmas-oriented kind of stuff, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I feel like more people are buying for themselves when they're buying clothing on eBay, but people are just buying more around the holidays anyways. So hopefully it's not going to have a huge impact on my store. But we'll see. Hopefully you guys are getting good sales and holidays are ramping up for you as well. If you made it this far in the video, please like and subscribe. Really helps the channel grow. Lets me know that you guys are enjoying the content. And I hope you guys enjoy your day, and I hope your football team wins today.